Yo, what's up guys? If you clicked on this video, you're probably interested on getting into the gym. So today I'm going to be going over my top 10 tips for the beginner's guide to the gym. See you guys.
Alrighty, so the first tip is getting into a good workout routine. Routines I would recommend would be push-pull legs, full body, or upper lower. These are good splits to start out as a beginner. You don't need to go crazy over the top. I would say about 3 or 4 days a week would be perfect. If you want to do more, 4 to 5 won't kill you. I train 5 times a week, but when you're first starting out, you really don't need that many days. So the second tip is making sure you are training hard, making sure you're going intense. You really want to be pushing yourself. When you're first starting out, you don't need to push yourself as hard because less effort will still provide results, but you want to get into that practice of actually working hard because you're not going to see results without working hard and actually pushing yourself. Third tip is progressive overload, and this concept involves increasing reps, weight, sets per week, and this goes along with training hard. You want to make sure you're pushing yourself each week and lifting harder than the week before. So this concept basically works by, like I said, increasing, you can increase your weight each week. So one week you do a certain weight, increase by 5 pounds the next week. But a more practical way to do this is to increase reps or sets, because you may not be getting stronger each week, but you may be able to do more reps or more sets. So one week you can do 3 by 8, next week do 3 by 9, or you can increase sets, do 4 by 8 and then 4 by 9. Progressive overload is a huge part of working out that people miss out on, and you don't want to forget about it. So another tip is consistency, and consistency is huge with your routine and your diet, which I will talk about later. And as I mentioned, you can work out 3 to 4 times a week, but if you're missing days each week and not staying consistent, all that effort won't provide results because you need to actually stay on a plan when you're working out. And as I mentioned, with progressive overload, you want to make sure you're consistently overloading each week, training hard. There's no point of working out if you're really not going to take it super seriously and stay at it. Obviously you can work out just to have fun, and that's a thing you shouldn't forget, but if you want to see results, you really have to stay at it and keep a good routine each week. And then here I am posing, and this brings me to my 5th tip, which is to get progress pics. And this is great to see how far you've come since you started lifting. I took a few pictures back when I first started lifting, and it's awesome to see how much progress I made. I actually made a 3-year transformation video if you want to go check that out. It's on my channel. And progress pics are great because it's your only way of really knowing how much progress you're making. Some people may say checking yourself out in the mirror, taking pics is egotistical, but this is really the only way to track your progress in this sport, if you want to call bodybuilding a sport. I've heard the metaphor before that like a runner will record his times to make sure he's making progress and be able to see how far he's made it. And bodybuilding is no different. You want to take progress pics just to track your progress. And another thing is weighing yourself. I wouldn't get too obsessed over your weight, because you could be at a certain weight and still look good, or you could be at a leaner or a lighter weight and look bad. So I'd worry more about how you look, but it is good to track your weight maybe once a week or so. Don't get too obsessed about it, but it is another great way to track progress. Alright, so another big tip is diet. You really want to make sure your food you're eating is balanced in the macros, which are protein, fat, and carbs. And you want to make sure you're getting your micronutrients, which you can get from fruits and veggies. So a good meal when you're trying to get into the gym, you want some high protein, but you also don't want to miss out on fats and carbs, because carbs give you energy, and fats as well. And also, if you completely cut out fats, you're going to have some hormone issues, and it messes with joints and stuff. So I would not recommend those fad diets like carb or keto or vegan. They can work, but you can do a lot less restriction and still meet your goals by implementing a calorie deficit if you're trying to lose weight. And that's what all those diets really come down to, is calorie deficit. The only way you can lose weight is if you're eating less calories than you are expending or spending. So for me, I usually try to get 0.8 to 1 gram of protein, and studies have shown that that is the most effective for muscle growth. So a typical meal for me is like a burgers like this, and I use English muffins, decent carb source, and I try to cut out cheese and extra fatty stuff on top, but the burgers already have enough fat in them enough for balance. And as I was mentioning earlier, another huge thing with diet is consistency as well, because you want to be consistent in the gym working out, but you also want to be consistent with your diet. That doesn't mean you have to eat the same boring thing every day, like chicken broccoli rice, as all the celebrities say they eat. You can mix it up, but you just want to be consistent in getting that protein and making sure you're eating enough or eating less than you need if you're trying to cut. So consistency is just huge overall in your fitness journey.
So as you're starting out in the gym, another thing you might have questions about is supplements. So
here are the supplements I take. Protein powder, I always go with the whey. Sometimes I take these vitamin gummies, and protein bars. So protein powder is an easy way to get in protein if you're missing out on your daily totals. And protein powder is like one of the most researched fitness supplements, and it's been studied, and the effects are very well known, and it's very effective. Vitamin gummies, I would take these if you're low on like fruits and veggies. It's just good to get in those smaller vitamins. And then protein bars are another good option. You want to look for ones that don't have a lot of sugar, but a big thing is tasting good and having a good amount of protein. And these are good for as a snack to hold you over, or just to get in extra protein. And some other supplements you guys might have heard of are like creatine, which is another very well researched supplement. And creatine isn't necessary. It gives your muscles a fuller look and helps with strength, but if you're on a budget, it's not necessarily worth buying. It can be expensive. And then pre-workout's another option. Pre-workout helps you get energy for the gym, but for me, I would rather just eat like fruit, like something that's quick digesting sugar, or you could drink coffee or something caffeinated. It's up to you how much you want to spend on supplements, but those are probably the most researched supplements, and I wouldn't look too further because you don't need a lot more to get started on your fitness journey.
Another big tip for diet is finding foods you enjoy that you can eat consistently, because you don't have to eat crappy foods that you don't like. You can find things that taste good and are healthy, and that'll really help you stick to your goals in the long term. Because you may hop on a fad diet and eat well for a week, but if you can't stick to it, it's kind of useless, because you want to find something that you can actually stick with. So another thing people might not think about when they're starting off on fitness is water. But water has a huge part in helping you gain muscle and just overall be healthy. I try to drink this, or like 4 bottles of water. They recommend I think it's like half a gallon. But just make sure you're drinking your water. Water also helps you stay hungry if you're trying to cut and eat other healthy things, and it just has a lot of benefits, so water's a big one. So I'm headed off to work, and that brings me to another tip, which is balance. When you first start working out in the gym, it's easy to get sucked in and make it your whole life, but you don't have to get rid of things that you enjoyed doing before. You can still work, hang out with friends, and work around your schedule. If you're getting into the gym, that's a good thing, and you just want to make sure you're not spending too much time in the gym so that you're not missing out on other things you enjoy in your life. And you also want balance in the other way, where you don't let your life take over and stop you from getting into the gym. So balance is a huge thing. Some people have to balance school, work, and that's a big thing that factors into your fitness journey.
All right, so another tip is sleep. As you can see here, I'm going to bed a little too late. Usually I try to go to bed around 12 and I wake up at 9. And a good goal to set when you first start lifting, good healthy amount of sleep is about 7 to 9 hours. I usually try to shoot for the longer end of that, but people think that they can get away with not sleeping, but sleeping is almost as important as working out, because if you don't give your body the time to heal, then all that effort you put into the gym and diet is useless. So don't forget sleep as a huge part of your fitness journey.
Alright, so my final tip for this video is to find your motivation. And this is a huge part of starting this journey, because you need to know why you're doing what you're doing. Because if you have that motivation and you know why, then it'll help you stay motivated when you have times that you don't feel like
working out or you don't feel like eating the right things, you can go back to that motivation and be like, I promised myself I'd stick to this. And that's a huge part for me. My biggest motivation for working out is it makes me feel good, keeps me confident, and it also gives me something to work towards. And that's a huge part for my life, is finding purpose, and that's huge for working out. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to let me know with a like and a comment down below. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hopefully at least one of these tips helped you. That was my goal with making this video. I just want to help you guys out on your gym journey. Some of these things I wish I knew before I started, and hopefully these can just help you ease into the gym a little bit better and get results efficiently and fast. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.